Get out the insurance cards, get out the co-pays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by DrRoto.com.
So let's get to it.
Bring the pain!
What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. Ooh, yeah, on another Ultra Contrarian show. Ooh, yeah. What's up, Fuego? Steve, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Doing good, man. Just the way it's going on. Sometimes these Saturday games kind of cut into our Ultra Contrarian show. So as everybody piles in, of course, you all know you're going to get the Ultra Contrarian Lineups, the Fuego picks of the week. You're going to get the Fuego pick of the week, that is, and his core four. We're going to do a quick walkthrough. We know the slate starts soon, but there's a lot of contests left. And since everybody's been budging, swaying, I just saw we had an injury report come out. Everything looks legit on our end. For the Buffalo side, Ty Johnson is out. So, I mean, it's looking good. How you been, though, buddy?
I've been well, man. We're full into NBA now, and it's been fun. People, you got to get in there. You got to read the articles. You got to watch for my lineups because, especially on these shorter slates. I love these short slates. Those 11-game NBA slates just crush me. I mean, even when you use those, algorithms and stuff, those 11-game slates is just so. But when I get a 5-game or under, man, I have been and man, dude, I had people thanking me last night. Every single person in my article was in my lineup, and I doubled my money. So
I saw that.
So just. My NFL brain's kind of like going over here. It's kind of like, okay, we're leaving. Focus on me, but I'm ready to go. We still have a few weeks left. I know Ravens are out of it, but your Rams, I think, got a great chance to get to the Super Bowl. And so let's give these people some plays to win them some money. Yeah. I see it. Yeah.
We got the comments on, so this is a live show. Anybody watching right now, you could definitely get that thing. We will have those, like I said, the DFS lineups, DraftKings, FanDuel. We're going to give it out, man. There is still you can get in single entries right now, people. And those are the contests that we like to get into anyway, because that makes you unique, and you don't have to worry about 150 lineups. So let's just get to it. Let's get to the Ultra Contrarian show. Dude, everybody's talking. You said Stafford. I agree with you, but guess what? I'm going to take a chance with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, 5,600 on DraftKings, 7,700 on FanDuel. In the last game against Seattle, he only scored, it was about 6.2 points. But earlier in the year, he had racked up 18.8 points against this same team. Now, I know that the Seattle defense has had time to meld, but Brock Purdy's playing like he's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants to win this game. They have one of the best players on the field, because I'm going to say right now, McCaffrey can take over a game, whereas sometimes JSN can still be locked down. So I'm going to go with Purdy because I'm trying to sway from everybody else. What's up? Who you got looking? Or who are you looking at, Steve? Did I lose Steve? I think I lost Steve. Anyway, while Steve gets back in here, I will just go on with it. So Steve was looking at Stafford. Stafford, 6,600 on DraftKings. That's one of his guys. His comment to me before we went live was, he hasn't failed yet. Why take him out right now? So that's the kind of idea that we're going with on Stafford. Let's get to the running backs, right? Because look, I know a lot of people, but in this game and in the last game, Zach Charbonnet has been getting it done. 5,300 on DraftKings. I don't care in any kind of world. I need him in my lineup. I need that salary. I need that money, and I need that relief. And if I can get that relief, I can get that relief through that 50 plus 6,600 on FanDuel. That's not bad. If this game does decide to shoot out, then we're going to be ahead of the schedule. We're going to be in it. So for me, I'm all about that right there. So for if you want to look at coming, of course, I've heard everybody talking like they're not going to play Christian McCaffrey. Unfortunately, when I went over to the DFS Hero, because go to DFS Hero, use code word Doc, get a percentage off of your subscription, and you could be our rich friend as well as being our, what this got going on. So McCaffrey, bang. Kyron Williams, I like him at 6,600. I think Kyron Williams will be sneaky. But right now, with all the census going into Harvey, and then of course Charbonnet, that's the queue I'm going. Welcome back, Steve. I don't know what happened.
That was my tablet. I apologize. I guess we're doing it from my phone again. I apologize.
Yeah. So it was like it went right to me, and I had to recourse. Everybody gets a good laugh at that. Hopefully I pulled it off pretty well.
I could hear you. I could hear you. I couldn't see you. Sorry. I guess I'll be doing it from my phone again. It's all right. Whatever.
It's all good. It's all good. So we were already to the running backs. I talked about Brock Purdy, and I talked about how you like Stafford and how if it's not broke, don't fix it. So of course, let's get those players in our lineups, and we will get those players in our lineups. And right now, I'm talking about Zach Charbonnet. The sway to Walker, is that the way to go? Right now, I've heard in the census, in the industry, people are trying to steer away from Christian McCaffrey. They don't like his points, but they didn't look at his catches. And if you go back to week 1 with Christian McCaffrey against the Seattle team, look at he had 10 targets, 9 catches, 73 yards. So for me, even in his last game against Seattle, he had 7 targets, 6 catches. So he's gonna be involved in the game. And that right there, I don't care about his 23 yards rushing. I care about those receptions on the appropriate sites. So since we're at running back, who you got?
Yeah, well, you have to like McCaffrey, and I don't really care about his ownership.
Yep.
He's clearly the best. And I might be cutting out. You might not see me, but I got because this anyway. Hey, technology, gotta love it. But McCaffrey, he's 8,800. But right, like you said, 15 attempts. But the targets, 8 targets, 66 yards. He scored 29.4 DK points. Little let down versus Seattle the week before, but 31 before that, 35. So I feel like you almost have to play McCaffrey. And I was looking at Swift a little bit, but I like your play at Charbonnet. I like going down, saving some money, and you could upgrade elsewhere. I had a 2 tight end set with Swift in there. But there's a lot of running backs on the slate, but McCaffrey is the only workhorse, I guess. If they're up, he's going to be in there. If they're down, he's going to be in there. He's going to be running. He's going to be catching. He's going to be doing everything CMC does. So
he doesn't have anybody in the way.
So exactly.
Right?
Yeah, Charbonnet's got Walker. All the other guys, Swift, great, but if they get down, you're not sure what's going to happen. I like a lot of the running backs. There's some good running, but yes, CMC is the man. Not splitting carries, none of that crap, and you gotta play him. I like your Charbonnet move for sure. And you could kind of you could play Walker if you think that they're going to get up. The guys on New England, but we're talking. Say again.
No, I said Go on.
Yeah, and then we were talking about New England. They got 2 running backs. Well, do you go Henderson? Do you go Stevenson? Marks. You could play Harvey. There's lots of good running backs. I don't think you should pay for Cook. Don't pay 7,300 for Cook going on the road at Denver. I don't like that at all. So I agree. I think CMC and Charbonnet are the way to go. But if you don't want to go Charbonnet, you could pick some of those other lower running backs or take your chance with Swift. Hey, maybe you're a Bears fan. Maybe you think Heat's crazy. Maybe you think they're going to crush him. So you play Swift,
Let's go, Bill.
Maybe you want to be different.
That's what we do.
Yeah, and if you want to be different, you could play Cook. If you want, I think Cook's going to have a lower ownership going against Denver. So if you wanted to take your chance there, you could. But I like CMC and Charbonnet at running back. And then I heard you talk about quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I love Stafford. He was in the IDP league. Y'all thought I was crazy for taking him in the 10th round. Well, what happened? Or whatever round I took him, paired him with Nakua, and he went off. I don't think you need to pay for Allen. You could go down to some of the other ones if you want to, save some money, especially in cash games. If you want to go down to like May or Knicks or one of these guys in cash games. But I think Stafford has the biggest upside. So I'm gonna play Stafford in my GPP lineup along with CMC and Charbonnet.
I agree with that as well. All right, let's move along to the wide receiver position. I think a lot of people are right now, we're locked in on Luther Burden. I'm going to pick him up 4,700 on DK, 5,800 on FanDuel. Now, with Xavier Hutchinson, with of course the news with Nico Collins out, Xavier Hutchinson is going to be pushed to the top. He's 3,400. But I got a counter for that. In Buffalo, in a game that starts in about an hour, right? We got Curtis Samuel sitting up. I saw the inactives. He wasn't on the inactives. He's going to be starting. And the thing is that Samuel always got in those packages. I was looking at Brandon Cooks because Josh Allen has been finding Brandon Cooks on some really good things. So you have some sway, but you were also talking about Shakir. Now, why I'm looking at Luther Burden in this last game, I thought that Adunze was going to come back in and be the alpha. He wasn't really the alpha. He was just another guy getting a few more targets. He didn't get those targets, and Williams missed Burden on a few passes. He only caught 3 of 7 targets. But at that price, I'm willing to stay strong with Burden or maybe match up Burden with Hutchinson or Samuel, maybe more so Hutchinson if you want to be on the safer side, because those are some of the receivers that I'm looking at. Of course, Puka is practically in 100% of my lineups. Who you got?
Obviously, you got to play Nakua, okay? And then obviously, if you're playing Stafford, you pair him up. But even if you're not playing Stafford, you got to play Nakua. There's no doubt in my mind. Hold on, let me get back to my lineup here.
Yeah.
You know, uh, he's obviously the highest price. Now, if you wanted to be a little different and play JSN, I'm fine with that. If you wanted to play Nakua and JSN and drop McCaffrey, I would allow that. And if you really want to be sneaky and say, you know what, I'm not going to play Nakua, I'll play Adams. Then you could save yourself, some money, maybe upgrade other. But I love Nakua, and I'm going to pair him up with Stafford. And then with Nico Collins out, I think Kirk's almost a must play. I think Kirk, 8 receptions on 9 targets for 144 yards last week, 31 DK points. Collins was good. I still won money with Collins in my lineup, but as a lot of us did because he was highly owned. But I think you got to play him. He's cheap at $4,700. So he's going to be in my lineups. And I do like Shakir. I like Shakir for that price. I say, Allen's still going to be looking for him. I think, what did he have? 12 targets and 12 catches last week. I mean, that's just insane. I'm not really, people always ask, what's that?
I said, I agree with that.
Yeah. And people always ask me, who's going to win this game? Who's this winning game? I always say I'm not an expert at predicting who's going to win games. Now, I am an expert on telling you who I think is going to do good in those games or who I think is going to do bad in those games. But and it's the NFL. You never freaking know, So people will say, who do I bet on? Who do I bet on? I say, you know what? Go to our site, ask some of the other guys who to bet on. I'm going to tell you who to play, And people ask me all the time about the NBA. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. I go, dude, I don't know, and I don't care who wins. I don't care, when I'm playing, now you care obviously this week, and I cared about the Ravens. We're not going to talk about them.
I got people coming at us in the comments here. 18 degrees in Chicago. I got a comment for that. Matter of fact, me and Dan weighed in on that as well too, and Doc and them talked about that too. But yeah, man, hit on, keep on going, Steve.
Yeah, so I just think that when we're talking wide receivers, yeah, I
Yeah,
just think you never know how these. There's a lot. All the lines are close. They're close lines. Yeah, it's the NFL playoffs. Anything can happen in the NFL playoffs, and we're talking about. We're not talking about like the first 2 weeks of the season. We're not talking about two scrub teams. We're talking about good freaking teams. So
yeah, good defense, stuff
good
like that.
defense. Yeah, and even the higher over unders, which I think I just had it up here. The the 248 point games, the
Yeah,
248 point games. Um, yeah, that's what we're expecting to happen, but yeah, we do our best to help you guys, but we don't know. We do our best. We spend time. We're up in. I know y'all know. You see, I'm up at 3 in the morning doing research because we're trying to. We do
yeah, you
money.
wild, man.
But this is the NFL playoffs, and who the heck knows? But I do like Shakir a lot, and I do like your plays. If you wanted to save money, you could go for some of the other guys because with Collins out, you could save money there. If they get
Yeah,
down, they're going to be throwing, and you could go. I had a double tight end set earlier. I like, but yeah, I do like Shakir, and those are the big three that I like are Shakir, Nakua, and what's his face for Houston, Kirk. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
So that being said, I agree with that. Let's move along to tight end. So look, tight end is wide open on both sides. As a matter of fact, FanDuel for the past couple of weeks has literally put all of the tight ends right next to each other. But I'm so I started the week liking Tyler Higbee, and now I see that Ferguson's back. So of course, like I was telling you with Davis Allen, Tyler Ferguson or Tyler Higbee, you got Jake Ferguson, and then you have of course Colby Parkinson. There's a whole bunch of tight ends that the Rams like to use, but they also like to use Mumfield, which he only got with that one target last game. So with that being said, when you see the amount of targets that Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua are getting, and you look at Devontae Adams missing a couple of those catches, dropping a big third down, which would have set us up beautifully near goal line or pretty much close to goal line in the red zone, he dropped that. He's not going to do that this week. He knows he has to win this game. He knows he has to do it. So that's why he's a fade too. But I'm going Evan Ingram, 3,500 on DK. I'm a little scared about that price, right? Because I like Tongs at 34. So Tongs is definitely one of my sways. But on draft FanDuel has Evan Ingram at 4,800. Now I know that when the guys were talking last night, they were talking heavily about Colston Loveland and I do agree with that. Practically, it was Nakua and Colston Loveland that helped a lot of best ball teams win last week, right? But to duplicate that a second week in a row with a pass rush like this, when clearly Green Bay didn't have a pass rush, missed some field goals, and had a chance to win that game outside of that, I want a guy that's in a game. Right now, the Bills do have players out, and they're not the best players. Like Matt Milano is good, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep up with Evan Ingram on a sprint down the sideline. And Bo Nix does look for Evan Ingram in the end zone. Hence, he's had some decent games and some pretty crappy games this year. But I
right.
think that Evan Ingram is the way to go if you want to be contrarian. Who are you looking at?
I like Ingram too. I was looking at him as well. I like Parkinson. But if you wanted to save the couple hundred, you go Ingram. But to me, he's more of a cash game. Parkinson, I feel like
Yeah.
has the higher upside.
Yeah.
I think you could play Barner and all those guys.
Yep. Mhm.
Tongs. Schultz Houston is
Yep.
playable. Henry's definitely playable. If you want to, if you want to, go for more of an upside, you play Henry and Loveland. Obviously, 3 huge games in a row: 21 DK points, 25 and 26.7, and
Yep.
certainly helped me turn that $5 into 340 in that single entry. That freaking Green Bay. If they would have scored, I would have won it all. But that's okay. I'm not complaining. 5 into 337. Y'all can do the math. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So,
We make money.
Yeah, um, and I think you could pay up for Loveland, but why? You know, like you said, 2 weeks in a row. Or I mean, he's going to have to. You know, and I could be wrong, and you might need him in your lineups. You know, but we don't have those high priced guys like McBride and all those guys.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say, you know, you could pay down and then upgrade at flex is basically what I'm saying. Pay a little bit lower, upgrade at flex. And
I
so,
love it.
so I like Parkinson. I like Ingram. Right now, Parkinson in my lineup. I could drop to Ingram, but that's how I'm playing right now.
You just do. I would roll with what you got going, man. It sounds good, but man, we need some money, people. And how do you get money? You punt defense. I'm punting San Francisco 2,200 on DraftKings, but San Francisco's 3,900 on FanDuel. So I was like, well, okay. And hear me out. The Bills at 3,700 on FanDuel look just as juicy. And the Bills are 2,600 on DraftKings, which I had some extra money to make it to the Bills. Why? The Bills they have a great pass defense. They can shut down this Broncos pass defense, and they're going to have to guard the stuff underneath. If this game gets down and dirty and we get a good game, mid-20s scoring, you're looking at least 5 points from the Buffalo Bills defense, which is practically their average for like the past 5-6 weeks. Why I bring up San Francisco has continuously been able to score defense points, even playing Seattle. 6 points last game, 9 points in their game one. This is the playoffs. I will take another 5 points for 2,200, or I will play the Bills at 2,600, and that way it'll allow me the extra money to pay for the players that I need on my lineup. Defensively, who are you looking at?
I was just looking for a piece of paper. No, I agree. You know, we love to pay down. And today, I don't think there's any reason to pay up. You know, in my lineup right now, let me get back to it here. I have the Niners. You know, they're the cheapest. Have they been a great defense this year? No, they only had 21 sacks, only 6 interceptions. But we love to punt at defense. If you want to pay up a little, you could maybe go Broncos. I think would be a little contrarian. High powered Buffalo coming into Denver. They have 68 sacks this year, 10 interceptions. That's a cool play. I kind of like that contrarian play against Allen, you know, because everyone loves Josh Allen, blah, 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 you know. And if you wanted to really get sneaky, you could play the Seahawks versus San Francisco as well. Seahawks, a good 18 interceptions this year. 18. And, you know, Brock Purdy, he's fine, but he's not my favorite quarterback in the world. And,
No.
and you know, I think he could certainly throw an interception or two.
Okay.
But
Yes, we can.
yeah,
Seattle has intercepted them 3 times this year.
yeah, exactly. But you know, we talked about, and if you've listened to our show all year, we love to pay as low as we can to get those high price receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, because those are the guys that are scoring most of the points. We need those defensive touchdowns. Even if you get 3 sacks and an interception, it's not going to get you 27 points that a receiver might get. So
That's
pay
right.
down, go San Fran. I completely agree with you.
I love it, man. All right, let's throw a few comments and then we're going to get to your Fuego, your core 4, and then your Fuego pick of the week. I will also throw. So of course we got a Bears fan, Daniel Smith, up in here, rolling 18 degrees in Chicago. If you'd have caught the show with me and Dan, it's not about that weather in Chicago. You have to remember that Matt Stafford has played in Green Bay and Chicago in the NFC North for plenty of years. He knows what that cold feels like, and he is used to it. He is a baller. He's a man on a mission, and he's trying to break that 31st ranked defense against the pass. Right now, how do the Rams beat it? The Rams go all the way down the field, right? They shoot bombs, right? We don't need to. The Rams are notorious for sideline passes, outposts, and things underneath. But what a lot of people that are looking at the weather are forgetting is that the Rams break tackles. The Rams break tackles. So therefore, the yak will be there, and that is why the Rams will be able to move the ball against the Chicago defense, who is without their heart and soul of that defense, Edwards. So that being said, that team has a lot to worry about in the middle of the field, and that is exactly where the Rams will be attacking with Parkinson and everything else. So there's my little thing. Josh Allen is Moses. He's going to take y'all to the promised land. My pick, if y'all didn't see it, my pick is the Bills and the Rams in the Super Bowl. Horns up for both teams. I don't mind Allen, but I want the Rams to kick the shit out of him. Anyway, and then we got Dylan Gabriel winning MVP. He's the GOAT. Man, 32. That's great. But here we go. I'm going to introduce the Macho pick of the week.
Everybody thinks that this guy right here is going to get washed over like a quorum. He's going to go past right this guy. It's Kyren Williams.
Kyren Williams is going to get the play. If Kyren Williams is not utilized in this game, the Rams could lose this game. The Rams are going to need to control the middle of the game. The Rams last week, if you did not notice, the Rams last week saved Kyren Williams for the second and third quarters, and then they finished out with both of them in the fourth. If you didn't just listen to what I said, you need to listen to that. The Kyren Williams will be big in the second and third. So if you want to play some second and third quarter rushing for Kyren Williams, that'll be the time to do it. Chicago is going to get exposed in the first quarter because of the passing game and not having their captain in the middle, and that's going to open up the running lanes in the second and third round. Steve, who are your core four?
All right. Here's my core four, and one of them we didn't mention. And so, I was cutting out there. But I'm going Stafford. I'm gonna play Stafford, and I'm gonna pair him up with Nakua. 1 and 2. I think they have a big game. I do like your Kyren Williams play. I forgot about him, but and I didn't forget. But
Kyren Williams really scores 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. So you could play all three. Actually, you play Stafford, Nakua, and Williams, and hope that if Nakua doesn't get that long touchdown, they run it in with Williams. But I like Stafford and Nakua 1-2. I like Kirk as number 3. Get him in your lineups. He's cheap.
Yep.
And then in that same game, the Stafford and Nakua game, we talked about Swift. I'm running it back with Moore. I'm putting Moore in my flex spot. He's in my core 4. I think they get down. I think they have to throw. Adunze, I think, is questionable. I don't know if we have an update yet on him. You may have mentioned it when I was out. I don't know. But last I saw, I think Adunze was questionable. So I like Moore. I think you run him back with the Stafford and Nakua lineup. And that's my core 4 for the week. There you go.
All right, and the Fuego pick of the week. Who's the guy that you have to have on your lineup, my brother?
I don't care how highly owned he is. Just get CMC in your lineup. Just put him in there. If you hate all the rest of my picks and you want to go completely different, fine. You don't like Heat's picks, fine, but please play CMC. Please. I mean, we don't have any of Henry's out and Barkley. I'm wearing my Patty's pub shirt from Always Sunny in Philly, but Barkley's out, right? We got all the high running backs that were there during the season that we were saying, got to play Bijan, got to play Gibbs, or wherever you got to play. Well, these guys are not around anymore. So you got to play CMC.
I agree with that. All right, people. So you know how we do it. We do the DFS Hero simulated lineup for this week, right? So I ran the numbers, and this is what they got. This is a Saturday Sunday slate. Darnold, McCaffrey, Charbonnet, JSN, Hutchinson, Nakua, Barner, Tongs, and the Bills defense. Now, I always build my lineups before I touch any simulator or look at that or really even listen to too many other people, because other than Doc and the guys, because I don't want to be tainted. That just right there. Now, let's give you a Saturday lineup for today. This is mine. I'm standing on it. Allen, Cook, Harvey, Shakir, Cooper Kupp, Sutton, Kincaid, Charbonnet, San Francisco defense. That's what we're doing before I get to the Ultra Contrarian plays. What did you think about those 2 lineups?
I like him. I really do. And we've always talked about it. You always are changing my mind. But no, I like those. Those are really good lineups because I'll give my lineup in a second. But based on what you just said, you can make a couple moves in my lineup down to Tongs, for example, and make a few plays. So those are, I really like those lineups, especially for cash, those are really good lineups.
All right, well, go ahead. Give your lineup out now, brother.
All right. So right now, my current lineup as it stands: Stafford at quarterback, CMC, Charbonnet, Kirk, Nakua, Shakir, Parkinson, Moore at flex, and 49ers defense. But you get all that?
Yep, I got it.
But as you were talking, a lot of people love this two tight ends. That's a way to win money in GPPs. I had a two tight end set before. Let's say you wanna go two tight end, drop Parkinson down the tongs, drop and go up to Loveland from Moore. There's your two tight end set that might be a little less highly owned than say Parkinson and Moore. But if you really like Loveland, who's again he's been blowing it up, you could drop Parkinson to Tongues and then go Loveland. There's your double tight end set. That might get you a little more contrarian. But right now I got the Stafford, CMC, Charbonnet, Kirk, Nakua, Shakir, Parkinson, Moore, and 49ers D. And then if you hate the 49ers D, like we talked about, you could maybe drop down to Tongs, and then upgrade 49ers D if you really want,
And I know that a lot of the simulator, that FanDuel simulator on DFS Hero was rolling with the Rams defense.
Right.
So that's the best part. All right, let's get to it. Let's get these people some money today because I know this game starts in about 36 minutes. These are the Ultra Contrarian Lineups. On DK, I'm standing on it. Believe me, though, I got me a Stafford lineup just like Steve because that's how we're playing. I mean, horns up, Ram Nation. That's what we do. All right, let's get to it. Purdy, Williams, Harvey, Burden, Nakua, Adams, Ingram, Sharps, and the Bills defense. I had so much money on this. That was all the money I needed left to make that lineup. I was like, do I come off? So if you come off of Adams, you go all the way down to one of the other, go down to Christian Kirk, boom, Josh Allen or Matt Stafford. That's how we're rolling with it too. Before I get to the FanDuel lineup, we got this dude. Last night, Mike Vick. Nah, man.
I know. Why are you mentioning Aaron Hernandez, dude? Do we really need to talk about Aaron Hernandez? But let's move on. Go ahead.
But yeah. But also at the same time, man, check it. New name. Hashtag Ken Vick. Ken Vick is the man, man. Kenneth Myron Vick. Check it out. If you didn't know what I'm talking about, go check out Thursday's podcast. Let's get to the FanDuel Ultra Contrarian lineup. These wild people. Stafford, Harvey, Williams, Nakua, Kirk, Burden, Ingrams, Charbonnet, Bills. I decided to go the other way. I wanted to keep everybody in the middle, give me some touches, get what we got, and get what we need. Bam. Those are the Ultra Contrarian lineups. Those are the lineups I have for you. Steve, love it, man. I'm ready to win some money today.
Let's do it. Go Rams. I'm rooting for you, man. I'm now adopting your team. My team's out. I'm adopting. I'm all on board. I'm rooting for you. I'll be my heart and soul be in you. Don't forget to look for my NBA lineups in Discord, people, because they're going to be in there. We got a bunch of games later. I don't know what I'm playing yet because I'm focused on NFL, but look for them. But go Rams, man.
Let's do it. All right, before we get out of here, make sure you get to Dr. Roto. Use code WIN. Get a percentage off of your subscription. Get to the subs only Discord, like Steve was just talking about. Get those lines. Get all of the bets that are in there right now. Also, you want to get over to, like I said, DFS Hero simulators. Get that doc code word doc. Get you 20% off. If you're feeling down and you're a gamer or you're a fighter like me, I've been testing W Energy for the past 3 weeks and I have survived. I have went on. I have thrived, and I love the no crash. I highly recommend W Energy. Use the code word bring the energy and you'll get 10% off of your stuff. We got it all. And those are the recipes that make you our rich friend, because we have the right gear for all of your fantasy needs. That starts this Thursday with the Fight Club of Pain. and UFC 324 when we slay that fucking slate. Yeah, Steve, thank you for coming on. Let's win some money, bro.
Let's go. The office is open, people.
Ooh.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. Until the next visit, be well and take care.